Yo, what is up, YouTube? It's your boy YBP Gang, YBP Nation, YBP Boxing, YBP MMA, and I'm coming at y'all after the historic UFC 304 card. Crazy, man. I was screaming, I was cheering for Belal. Obviously, uh, the picks. I think I ended up going. I'll recap it more in the next one that I do with Corey Sandigan and Umar Nurmagomedov, but I think they ended up going in total. I went 9-5 or something like that. So not my best night. I feel like I got like unlucky with some of them, but overall, I mean, I had my ups and downs, but it's not bad for my first time really doing this. So, and it's hard. I mean, I was trying to find a pick for every single fight. Obviously, some of those fights probably should have just stayed away from, and a lot of those were the ones that I ended up doing picks on. I didn't feel too good about the Lawford one. Didn't feel too good about the Aspinall one. I felt like it could have gone either way. I mean, I had belief in Blades, but I'll get into that in the breakdown. I feel like I got robbed with Ardeline, but yeah, I mean, a lot of fights on there, but I'm gonna just be recapping the whole event. Obviously, we're gonna get to Bilal Muhammad and what he did. I don't know. Maybe I should start from the top, and yeah, we'll start with the main event, man. Usually I like to end with the main event, but I got to get off my chest, man. Beautiful performance. Everything that I said in the breakdown came true. Leon, like I said, he gets pushed back way too easily. I mean, I wasn't surprised by anything that I was seeing. I honestly felt some vindication because throughout the whole card, it felt like all the research that I did meant nothing. I mean, for some fights it meant something. Like I could see the stuff that I was okay, boom, like that's. But with some other fights, it was just like people weren't fighting how they usually fight. People were having off days. People were, not using their easiest path to victory. They're just fighting stupid. But I felt with the Bilal fight, everything that I saw, Bilal saw in Leon, and he executed the game plan perfectly. Like if I was gonna give Bilal a game plan, I would have told him the same thing. He went out there and gave the perfect performance. He kept the fight at boxing range, outboxed Leon. He noticed that Leon's not that good of a boxer. He could, make if you turn into a boxing match, Leon's not that good. You add the kicks, keep it at kicking range, you have that chance to get knocked out. And even that head kick didn't really land at all in this fight. And then a big theme of this was pressure, pressure, pressure. And the guy who was coming forward ended up winning. I will say I was impressed with the wrestling of Leon Edwards. He was, even though he pretty much did get dominated on the ground, but they were, he had a whole round where he had back control. So there was some really good stuff in there. No 10-8 scored. I was a little mad at those scorecards because I felt like, but at the end of the day, I can't be too mad because, if damage trumps all, Bilal wasn't really doing crazy damage, but I felt like he had enough control to where it would just overrule the damage. It was just like, minimal elbows. But, because there's even some people arguing that Leon won. I can't really see that. I don't know. For me, on my scorecard, obviously I'm a little biased because I picked Bilal, but I had it 49-46. Just too much control to then, flip it around and then, do some damage. But just a great performance, man. I can't stress enough, man. He executed the perfect game plan. He showed that he's smart, man. He did everything that he was supposed to do. Didn't take unnecessary risks. He didn't go out there trying to fight like a different fighter. Like I saw some other people on this card do. I'll talk about that, but he fought like Bilal Muhammad. He fought, he said in the post-fight interview, he's not Khabib, he's not GSP, he is Bilal Muhammad, and he went out there and he fought the way he's supposed to fight, to a decision. So just a beautiful game plan. Yeah, Leon, although I think Leon beats a lot of guys in the division, he's just, I always thought Bilal was just a tough style for him, because he had everything that Leon struggles with. He had the pressure. But Leon gets pushed back so easily in this fight. There wasn't any resistance. And when it really gets down to the grappling, obviously Leon has those nuances to where he can. It's not like he can't grapple with the best of the guys, but he's not an elite guy. He can hold his own, but he's not. At the end of the day, good grappling is always going to prevail. And Bilal showed levels in this fight. So even on the feet, he outstruck him. He took him down, controlled him there. He beat him in every aspect of the fight. There's no question who the better fighter is. So yeah, man, I'm so impressed with Bilal, but at the same time, I expected it. I expected Bilal to go out there and do this, what he did, you know. Honestly, he did it so well. I was like, I thought there was gonna be at least a little moment of where I was like, you know, like holding my breath. But he fought so well. He fought perfectly to a T, and I mean, I expected nothing but that. But there is that little bit of surprise because it's like I'm saying this stuff, everyone else is like, I heard some other people saying it too. You know, it's always a possibility, but not everyone was on Leon. You know, no one picked Bilal, really. That's why I think it was such a... People were saying... But this is what I didn't agree with. People were saying it was going to be a Strickland Adesanya like... No, it's not that at all. No, because there was that clear path to victory. We know Leon struggled with the style, but people just couldn't fathom that Bilal, this guy who's... You know, they just don't want to give that guy any credit. Just I don't know if it's the way he looks or the way he carries himself. People just meme him. They just don't think he's that guy, but he's really that guy. You know, you guys got to put some respect on his name. As far as like future fights go, like where he goes on from this, I'm not really sure. You know, you could do Usman. I think Shavkat's the clear guy. Yeah, man, I love that fight. I love that fight for Bilal. I think, like I said, I mean, this fight just proved Bilal is the best wrestler in this division. I don't see why he can't go out there and take down a guy like Shavkat, honestly, and do what he did. And honestly, beat this guy up with the jab. Shavkat's not a better striker than, Shavkat's never been 5 rounds. He's finish dependent. You know, he's getting taken down to deep waters by Jeff Neal. He's not able to take down a guy like Jeff Neal. How's he gonna take down Bilal? I'd love to know how people think Shavkat's gonna beat Bilal because I can't see it. I can't really see it. The guy's, you know, he's a decent striker. Leon's a way better striker. You know, Bilal's fought the 2 best strikers in the division, 2 of the 3. He fought Leon Thompson. You know, I don't know. I can't really see if Bilal could honestly fight Shavkat the same way and come out victorious, you know, especially in those deep waters where he hasn't been. It's not a guy. I think the nightmare matchup for Bilal, if I had to say, I don't know. I mean, maybe Usman, but Usman's not the guy that he used to be, you know. He's not. Maybe Usman, I don't know. But even that, like I said, I've been saying, I think I'm starting to come around just because of that performance. I am on record saying that I think Bilal wins this matchup, but Leon beats more matchups. I still think that if Leon fights Shavkat tomorrow, he still beats him. I just think Shavkat's a very overrated fighter. But yeah, I mean, it's I don't know. I don't know who beats Bilal. Maybe JDM, maybe, but that guy got out grappled by Burns. You know, pretty much got saved by the bell. So I don't know who's the guy who beats Bilal, man. If it's not Shavkat, I don't know who it is, man. And I think he beats Shavkat. But there's people coming, man. There's Michael Morales, a lot of guys, but I can see Bilal being a dominant champion. You know, but you know the fight I really want to see is Islam and Bilal, but they'll never fight. But it is what it is. But yeah, man, I'm so happy that I got that prediction right. Next fight, Curtis Blades, Tom Aspinall. Not going to spend too much time on this fight. It seemed like, honestly, I mean, I kind of feel dumb picking Blades because I feel like the writing was on the wall. But I didn't understand why Aspinall was such a big favorite. But you saw the speed difference, honestly. You saw just how light that guy is on his feet. And Blades, you know, for what he is, didn't shoot a takedown. There wasn't any time to. He pretty much just got one of the first shots that he got hit with pretty much just went down. So I think he's a chinny guy. I think Aspinall's just that fast. I think Aspinall's just that guy. He looked minus 400. And yeah, I mean, I'm glad to be wrong. I hope he gets a Jones fight. But yeah, man, I mean, I thought that fight would play out a lot closer. And I mean, Blades had his shot. You know, he landed a couple shots on Aspinall. But yeah, I think it's gonna. I don't think this guy's gonna lose anytime soon. I mean, maybe if he rematches Pavlovich or Gone. I mean, there's interesting fights out there. We can't just say, oh, he automatically beats everybody. But there's one guy I know that he beats for sure, and that's John Jones. John Jones won't take that fight. John Jones will get killed by Aspinall. It's not. I mean, this was the big test. This was the litmus test to really show. I think Blades was the only guy who had a chance against him. And Aspinall slept that guy in 1 round, inside a minute. So if he did that to him, no guy has a chance, in my opinion. I think Blades is the second best guy in that division. And yeah, Next fight, Paddy Pimblett, Bobby Green. I had the knockout. He gets the sub. I don't know why Bobby Green shot for a takedown. I don't, it's the same thing with Leon. Like, I don't know Leon for all he is. I feel like that guy's just like stupid. Like, I don't know who is his coach. I mean, the guys they're no help in the corner. Like, I don't know, were they giving him advice? It seems like half the time they're just cheerleading. The strategy was very, very bad. But this is my thing though too. With these breakdowns, you almost have to. I was expecting Leon to somehow in the fight adjust a little bit. Even though I did pick Belal, I was like, maybe Leon isn't so dumb. Maybe he's not. Because when I look at the fight, sometimes I don't look at it in a nuanced sense. I'm just kind of like, he always does this, blah blah blah. He'll just keep doing it, and he actually went out there and kept doing it. But sometimes, I mean, these fighters adjust, but Leon never adjusted. In fact, he would actually offensively grapple. It helped him, but I feel like he could have definitely benefited from separating and trying to strike and get in that kicking range and move a little bit more. Like, the guy has like no movement. It seemed like he was honestly gassed like early. But yeah, another like Bobby Green. Why are you shooting a takedown against Paddy Pimblett? Made zero sense at all. I don't know why, and he paid the price for it. I don't feel bad for him, man. I'm not gonna say I'm glad that he got subbed, but like when you do dumb stuff like that, man, like yeah, maybe you should get subbed. Cause like, why are you shooting a takedown against Paddy Pimblett? It's just the fight IQ. You're 37 years old. You're a fighting veteran. Why are you doing that? Like, he would never shoot. He would never dare shoot a takedown on Grant Dawson, but he shoot a takedown against Paddy Pimblett, like in the first round. Like, I don't. Who do you think you are, bro? I don't know. Maybe it could have, went out well, but that was a dumb decision, and that's what he gets for doing that. I can't even feel bad for him. He might have had a chance if he kept the fight on the feet, but that's what I'm saying though. You can't account for fighters doing dumb stuff, because who would have thought Bobby Green would have shot for a takedown? No one would have thought that, but it is what it is. Gregory Rodriguez, Christian. Oh yeah, by the way, I did pick Paddy. I know I sound sore, but or like a sore loser, but I just, man, these fighters, they do that's the thing, because I was on the winning end of that, and I was on the receiving end, and I was a beneficiary, and I lost because of that too. On this fight, fighters just fighting like stupid, but on the other hand, fighters doing stupid stuff, that would help me. So it's not a perfect world, man. This is why MMA is such a volatile. You got to pick your fights well. You got to pick your reads because you're really confident in. So, yeah, Christian Leroy Duncan, Gregory Rodriguez, that fight, man, I mean, COD, man. I mean, I think I overrated his grappling a lot. Definitely thought that he could stuff the takedowns and do a lot better. But, yeah, he just got taken down at will. And anytime he would get hit by a punch by Gregory Rodriguez, he would try to just, circle in, try to clinch with him, try to get in that clinching range. He was even at some point trying to take down Gregory Rodriguez. And it's just like another guy doing dumb stuff. Like, why are you trying to clinch with the guy who's the better grappler? And he paid the price. He got, I think he got split open. I don't know. But he was getting rained down with elbows, getting taken down. Very sloppy fight. But that's not a fight that he was ever going to win. He had to just, he had to just stay at range and try to kickbox this guy and make the fight look pretty. I thought he looked pretty good in the first round. Like, that was the perfect game plan. And then he just got taken down. Everything went down the drain. But for the first round, he fought it, how he's supposed to. Stay out of range, don't get pushed up against the cage, and run away when he's about to unload on you, up against the cage. You did that perfectly, and then he just got taken down, and then everything just fell apart. He got hit with the punch, wanted to clinch. Yeah, just a not. It's a learning experience. It's great. For a guy who's really dangerous on the ground. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. It was great that COD was able to survive the fight and not get finished. But yeah, he didn't execute the game plan at all. And it just kind of fell out. And then by round 2, round 3, he was just in survival mode. So it is what it is. Yeah, I thought he did way better. I thought, yeah, but it's hard to gauge how good someone's defensive grappling is based off their offensive grappling. That's another good theme of the card too. People who are good at wrestling offensive, all of a sudden, we don't know if they could defend a takedown or not. Here, Duncan showed that he had those new wrinkles, and it didn't matter. He got taken down. Arnold Allen versus Giga Chikadze. I was 50-50 on the matchup. I was going back and forth between Allen and Chikadze. I did say it would play out close. if Allen didn't grapple, and he didn't grapple, and it played out very close. I think, I mean, nah, I think Allen clearly won, but maybe you could maybe make an argument for Chikadze winning that third round, but like I said, it played out very close. If Allen decided not to grapple, I think that fight looks a lot easier if he goes out there and shoots takedowns. But it is what it is. He won the fight the way he wanted to. He proved that he's an elite guy, one of the elites, an elite striker, by going out there. It's Chikadze, and that pressure worked. At the end of the day, that pressure kind of got to Giga Chikadze. He wasn't able to really fire out his kicks his best game, and he wasn't able to really do as much damage as he wanted to. And I think that fear of the kicks kind of went away. And Allen, as soon as Allen was able to disregard that and just continue to push forward and not mind the kicks, kind of just I'm gonna get hit, but I'm gonna go out there and deal my own damage. Once he was able to just realize that, the fight got a lot easier. He was able to build upon that second round, and then third round was pretty clear, honestly. Probably his best round, honestly. So, yeah, man. I thought that fight could have looked a lot easier for Arnold Allen, but quality win. You get Chikadze. Yeah, not good. I mean, not bad, but not good, though. Not bad, but not good. Considering, Arnold Allen's a good fighter, man. He's a good fighter, so it is what it is. Okay, Nathaniel Wood, Daniel Pineda. Yeah, man, Nathaniel Wood had some really good moments. Bad IQ, I feel like, on his part. He could have finished like Pineda on like several occasions, but he opted to just grapple with him and stay on the ground. My bad. Stay on the ground when he could have let him back up. He had his legs hurt, I think, at some point, and by grappling with him, by laying and praying on him, he was able to recover and actually steal around late. Obviously, Nathaniel Wood was able to get that 10-8 round. They scored that for him, so he won 29-27, but, not in a fight. That was the biggest favorite on the card. Pineda made it competitive, man. In a fight that really shouldn't have been competitive. He should have finished that fight 5 times over, but it is what it is. So, yeah, man. Nathaniel Wood, he fought well. Pineda showed heart. Good for both guys. Yeah, Bruno Brazil. A lot of shocks on this card, man. Bruno Brazil, Molly McCann. Jeez. Man, I mean, England, man, it was a tough one to watch, man. Could you imagine staying up 5 a.m.? Leon loses. At least Aspinall won, but man, Leon loses. Molly McCann loses. Like, people are losing, But Patty won, though. That's a bright side, But yeah, Bruna Brazil just dominated Molly McCann. She dominated her on the feet. That was shocking. She almost went out. I don't know what was keeping Molly McCann from going down. She showed her toughness. I don't know how she was able to go to a decision, but she showed she's a warrior. Fighting in front of her home crowd. She wasn't gonna give up. She wasn't gonna, let this girl come to her home territory and knock her out. And I think the big lesson we learned is, Molly McCann's a little overrated. I will say, though, a Leon Edwards-esque performance, because she's continuing to show that she can grapple. Honestly, she was able to take down Bruna Brazil twice. So she's showing that she has that grappling in her game, but ultimately just not enough. And you leave that fight wondering, just a lot of questions, like what's really going on here. And I left this fight, super impressed with her opponent, Bruna Brazil. She had nice striking. She has a great frame for the weight class. She's long, but she's not skinny. Like, she's got a lean build. She's strong. So she was able to go out there and really make Molly her daughter, man. Like, just, get on top, rain down shots, get in those advantageous positions. And on the feet, the body kicks were nasty, man. So just an all-around crazy performance. Crazy growth from Bruna Brazil, coming from a girl who was knocked out by Denise Gomes. You thought Molly McCann could go out there and do something similar, but that was not the case. She's constantly getting better, and she's someone to watch out for in the strawweight division. Next fight, we have, Jake Hadd. Don't even get me started with this fight, bro. It's a pathetic performance, bro. I don't know. Colin Loughran, man. And he got served, bro. He was talking crazy to Paddy Pimblett on the bus. There's a clip of him and Paddy Pimblett going back and forth on the bus, like, on the way to ceremonial wins. This guy. For, like, all that talk, the guy, like, I don't understand. Honestly, I don't know. I was about to say something crazy. Loughran, I don't know what he was doing. He was fighting like a robot out there. Just very stiff, very, very lethargic, bro. Like he never got out of first gear. He was kind of like it was almost like he was waiting for something to happen. It's just very weird performance. I don't know what happened. I don't know what caused him to fight like that, but yeah, that was just robotic, lethargic, all that stuff. He looked like a guy fighting at 4 a.m., honestly. Just so stiff, like loosened up a little bit, you know? I mean, he is inherently, he kind of is a stiff fighter, but not that stiff, though. That was bad. And imagine he was the one who was walking him down and still getting outpointed, still getting out jabbed, outstruck. Yeah, I left this fight very impressed with Jake Hadley. He was able to stuff the takedowns of Loughran. Loughran's a pretty good wrestler. He was able to get a takedown late, but Hadley just pieced him up on the feet and was able to stuff the takedown, man. It was a perfect strategy. In my breakdown, I wasn't too sure, man. I wasn't, because Hadley, well-rounded fighter, but that size difference didn't prove to be a problem. Honestly, it seemed like, they were in the same weight class. Loughran wasn't able to really bully his way and use his strength in the grappling. Yeah, I mean, just a masterclass performance by Hadley, man. Loughran didn't have there was not a point in that fight where Loughran wasn't getting cooked, man. That was bad. So, yeah, Loughran, I don't know, man. He needs to stop talking trash, dude. Like, it's just crazy. But just so, I mean, I'm never gonna tell a fighter to not stop talking trash. You gotta market yourself, but chill, bro. Like, this guy was calling out Payne Talbot, like, dude, you get knocked out, dude. But anyways, next fight, Muhammad Mokaev going up against Manel Kape. Man, oh man, I was picking Mokaev. I thought he won every single round, but like for all the talk that they had in that fight going into it, a little lackluster. It was kind of intense though, like with all the stuff they were trying to fight before the fight. Kape broke his toe. Mokaev went out there and outstruck Kape. And then we hear in the post-fight interview that the UFC said they were gonna cut him if he didn't. The UFC said they were gonna cut him if he didn't go out there and if he went out there and wrestled, kind of similar to like what Belal did. That they were gonna cut him, which is so crazy. I don't really understand that. If you want the best fighters in the world, you got to let them fight how they're gonna fight. So I don't know. I think there's a way to wrestle where it's not boring, and he's finishing guys, so I don't understand why the UFC would set that ultimatum. I don't really understand. And even Bilal's style to me wasn't inherently boring. I don't see how it's boring. He was bloodying him up. He was, threatening with the submission. He has these big slams, these big motions. I don't see him as a boring fighter, but yeah, weird fight. Kape, I said in my breakdown, he's way too patient. And yeah, I don't know. In the fight, I mean, even Mokaev, you would have thought if they were going to be striking for that amount of time, he would have went over his strike line. But no, he somehow stayed under. Neither guy was, Mokaev was the active guy on the feet, and he was the guy who was out striking Kape. I mean, that's just an issue. You can't be an elite guy. I mean, he got the fight on his terms. You got a kickboxing fight with Mokaev. What more could you possibly ask for if you're Kape? And you somehow went out there and you lost the fight. I don't know. I mean, Kape has no right to be mad. I saw someone talk about 30-27 Kape. Kape didn't even throw. He didn't there were rounds where he threw 1-2 strikes. Didn't really do anything. You got to give it to the guy who's landing more volume. And there wasn't big reactions to what Kape was doing. If they gave it to Kape, I wouldn't complain, honestly. And neither guy really did much, honestly. But I thought Mokaev was a more active guy, all in all, in that fight. But yeah, I will say though, Kape showed some pretty good takedown defense. So, maybe if someone can replicate that, they could beat a guy like Mokaev. But he's showing new wrinkles in his game, man. He has a really good kick, some decent hands. No crazy pop on the punches, but he's showing, he can move around very well. He looked way better in this fight than he did in the Perez fight. At least on the feet, just all around game. So yeah, I was very impressed. Oban Elliott defeats Preston Parsons 3-round decision. I don't see. No, see, this is the thing. I don't know why on my typology it says that I picked Oban. I didn't pick Oban. Yeah, see, that's not even. I don't know why, but shit, I guess I'll take the dub, I guess. But yeah, I picked Parsons, man. I was pretty confident in Parsons. I thought Parsons would go out there. He'd be the bigger hitter. I thought he'd have the better wrestling, better grappling, all that type of stuff. But Oban beat him at his own game. He was able to out grapple him, take him down, to outstrike him. It was just the whole narrative switch, man. The tape study did me wrong because I didn't see any of that coming at all. And honestly, Parsons was the one who gassed out. Oban Elliott showed terrible cardio in his Dana White Contender Series fight. So you know he's making those improvements. You know he's running those extra miles and he's improving at a rapid rate. So yeah, all the stuff they talked, man, he was able to back it up, man. I wasn't a believer, but now I am. He's improved drastically from the fights I've seen. So, and then Parsons, man, I don't know. He was honestly the takedowns. They look good. He was deep in on shots, but the finishing was bad. I always say, like, I feel like in wrestling, like, I feel like good offense beats. I think it's with a lot of sports. Like, I feel like good offense beats good defense all the time. I think so. Yeah, I mean, he was so deep in those shots. If you're a good wrestler, like, you should be finishing those shots. I don't care how good of a wrestler, defensive grappler Oban Elliott is. Those are takedowns that you should be getting. I mean, Belal showed it, man, in those fights. If you got, yeah, I feel like a good offensive wrestler is always gonna beat that defensive grappler. It's gonna be hard. But can someone get up and recover? Yeah, for sure. But yeah, Modestas Bukauskas versus Marcin Prachnio. Yeah, man, I kind of even forgot what happened in this fight, to be honest. Oh, he subbed him. Yeah, I kind of just blanked out. I remember Prachnio having early success. The fight kind of played out how I thought it would for Prachnio. Prachnio obviously had that early success in that volume that I thought he was gonna have. But I mean, the fight just kind of went off the rails, man. The guy's cardio fell off a cliff. I thought Modestas had terrible cardio. I mean, I thought they both did. Like, I thought they'd gas out together, but no, they just only one guy gassed out, and Modestas was still there. He seemed kind of tired too a little bit, but he seemed like he had more in the tank though of the two. And if you have like even a little more cardio, able to throw a little bit more strikes, it's gonna be that drastic difference. So yeah, it was not good, man. And I think a big theme of the fight too. I didn't think that they would grapple, but they did grapple, and Modestas proved to be the way better grappler. And yeah, I mean, Prachnio was practically giving him the submission to get, and Modestas was able to do it. Showed that he's a true all around guy. But yeah, I mean, Marcin had his moments. That kick was nasty. He caught Modestas a couple times. Modestas caught him a couple times. It was a good all around fight. But yeah, that was nice. Okay, 3 more fights to break down. I can go to sleep. Okay. Sam Patterson versus Kiefer Crosby. Yeah, man. I mean, nothing too crazy. I thought Kiefer Crosby had a chance as long as it was on the feet, but if it got to the ground, Sam Patterson was gonna dominate Kiefer Crosby, and that's exactly what he did. Pretty much went out there and just dominated him. Was able to, get the hooks in, get that. I forgot. I think it was a rear naked choke. I think it was a rear naked choke. I'm not sure though. We can see the exact results, I think. Was it a rear naked choke? I'm just going off the dome with it, from what I remember. It was an arm. Oh yeah, it was an arm triangle. Yeah, because he got off to. Yeah, it was an arm triangle. Yeah, that's true. Got off to the side very easily, bro. Very easily, just submitted him there. So yeah, very impressed with Sam Patterson. Made it look easy. Made it look like -400. And yeah, I was one of the guys saying that he's like the worst -400 ever. I still think so, just because of that. Leaves his chin up in the air, but his striking looked improved. He looked a little better. And yeah, Kiefer Crosby's not a UFC caliber guy, so cut him immediately. Let's see, Mick Parkin knocking out Lucas Bresky. Never saw that one coming. I thought for sure he'd get a sub or a decision, but another guy who's fighting in a way that honestly I don't even think he looked that good. He was getting touched up by Bresky, of all people. So maybe he just disregarded the power that was coming back his way. He didn't really see anything crazy coming back, so he just kind of was like, okay, I'll take my chances, let me not scout. But he was getting touched. Wasn't a flawless performance, but he just trusted his power and he just got him out of there. So yeah, did not see that coming at all. And yeah, man, Mike Parker has a knockout in the UFC. Shot to him. And then the last fight of the night, Shauna Bannon going up against Alice Ardeline. I thought Alice Ardeline got robbed, honestly. I thought some home cooking happened, but I'm not going to sit here and call it a robbery just because it was a close fight, and I think the damage was probably on Bannon's side. But I thought Ardeline had some good control, and I thought she could have had rounds 1, and I forgot the rounds, but there was a round where Ardeline had a bunch of control. I think she got that round, but they didn't give her another one. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, it sucks for Ardeline. That was one of my I had her over her fantasy points, and that would have cashed. So yeah, it is what it is. The mock picks did decent overall, but putting them together probably wouldn't have gone the best for you. Probably had to really put them in the right order. Make sure that the ones that hit actually hit. So obviously I didn't go undefeated, but you're not always gonna do that in the sports of volatile like MMA. Great fight night though. I'm definitely gonna remember that the day the day Belal prevailed and became champion. Never gonna forget that. So motivational. Tom Aspinall. So much new storylines coming out of this. I love this scenario because I want MVP to fight Leon, bro. I've been said that. Let's do Leon MVP Birmingham. Now it can happen. Now that Leon's not champion, I think there's so many interesting fights now that Leon's not champ. And I hope he doesn't get a rematch. He doesn't deserve a rematch. Wasn't dominant enough. Fight wasn't close. He got dominated. No rematch, please. Let's just get away from that. Just let Shavkat get his shot. And let's move on from the Leon era as fast as possible. But yeah, I'd love to see Leon Ian Gary, Leon JDM, Leon Burns, Leon there's so much fun. Leon MVP, Leon Thompson, so much fun fights that you can make with Leon now that he's not a champion. I love to see those fights. The number one fight on my list though is Leon MVP. If I do make a fights to make next video, that's the one I want. I want that fight so bad. I want that fight so bad, man. Knowing Leon though, he's probably gonna go out there and wrestle him. But can he out grapple a guy like MVP? Probably can because Ian Gary did, but like I'm saying, like shooting a takedown from space, because a lot of the stuff that he did was in the clinch. So, and you expect MVP to hopefully go out there and get MVP to go out there and improve from the Gary fight, seeing how good he did, apart from that. So I'd love to see that fight. You got black on black violence. You put that in England anywhere, main event, that's a firefight, so I love that for sure. But any of those fights, Leon, Gary, you just want to keep him at the top. Leon, JDM, so interesting. And then you gotta do the big one with Belal and Shavkat. With Tom, I mean, he's got to fight. I guess he's got to wait for someone, but I mean, yeah, it's got to be Jones, but he's got to wait. I'd love to see him against Gon. Jalton's always waiting in the wings. I'd love to see him against Jalton, just because I really rate that guy's grappling. He's not a guy who's gonna even try to mess with Aspinall on the feet, even though my bad. Even though he did get KO'd by Blades, he's still a guy who's he's nimble just like Aspinall, so that's always interesting. But it's hard, man. I saw someone on Twitter say there's not much left for Aspinall after Jones. There really isn't. I mean, the guy's young, so he's gonna be champion for a long time. I can't really, unless he. So he'd have to really have a freak injury with the belt, So, but I don't know. But the cool thing about Aspinall in this new era is that I think there's gonna be more Aspinalls to come. I think there's gonna be new guys on the come up that are gonna be vying for that belt, and it's heavyweight, and anything can happen. Anyone can get hit with a shot, So, yeah, no one's invisible. He has 3 losses on his record, so he's not perfect. So, we gotta see. That's why you fight the fights. You never know. A lot of people said that Leon would get that Leon would dominate Belal. Leon would get the KO, and what happened? So, yeah, man, I'm so happy for Belal. The guy, he still has me blocked on Twitter. It is what it is, though. That actually is crazy. That's actually wild. I really shouldn't even be supporting the guy. This guy blocked me on Twitter, but nah, man, I don't. I'm a Belal. He's not one of my favorite fighters, but I'm a fan of his. But he's not on my favorite fighter list. He didn't crack the Aljo MVP. You know what I'm saying? Who my favorite? Aljo MVP, Devin Haney. They're my guys. Bilal's not quite there yet, but I fuck with him, man. I mess with him, man. He's definitely one of my favorite guys for sure. So in the UFC. He's on that short list for sure. I gotta rep him, man. Just his story, his fight style, all that type of stuff. You gotta support him. But I've done a lot of yapping on this video. 2 videos today, man. We've been this channel's going up, 431 subs. So join the family, join the YBP family, YBP gang, YBP Nation, YBP Boxing, YBP MMA. Peace out, most. I know what it is. Boy.